Hello everybody, this is KN from Sonic Song 182, and I am here to spend another fun Friday with all of you guys. Today I've got some actually pre-recorded Ask the Sonic Heroes artwork work that I was doing. Obviously that's Cream the Rabbit. Cause I've been working more on the artwork for Ask the Sonic Heroes lately because there's still so much work to do even though we've been working on updating the artwork for like 2 years now. It is a long process, honestly, and if I want to get a Team Rose episode going sometime in the spring, I need to finish the rest of their artwork, so I've got some of the work that I did. I used to just, like, work on it live while talking to you guys, but, everybody who used to go to the, that stream type, you know that I have trouble focusing on, talking and doing, like, high-quality, like, art stuff. So, I was making too many mistakes, so it seems better to share the process with you guys this way, instead of the way I was doing it before. Alright, there's everybody. Hi guys! Sonic Fan 1357 said, I didn't have to go to school today, lucky me. Oh ho, I see. Well, I don't know why class was cancelled for today, but I hope that you had a nice and relaxing day to break things up a bit. And, well, Son Goku said please pick me for this. I'm not sure what you need to be picked for, but I will say hello, Son Goku. And let's pop down here. Andrew Colin, who may also be named Chocolate Lover Andrew _10, says, Chocolate Lover Andrew _10 is back again! Hello, Sonic Song! Hello! And hi, Miranda the Wolf, and Raffi, and Fox Animates. There are plenty of you guys here at the moment, and also Dragon Tail the Hedgehog. Yes, your profile pic looks pretty cool. It's small on my screen, so it's hard for me to see the details, but from what I can see, it looks cool. I like the colors. It really stands out against the background, so it's got a good aesthetic, even though it's you know, in the small icon size. Rin the Hedgehog asked, how are you, KN? Oh, I'm good. I've gotten started on, well, I've been working on the, editing for Ask the Sonic Heroes episode 37. I can't believe we're, like, getting toward episode 40 of this show. I really never expected it to, like, go for, you know, so many episodes. Like, a lot of things don't make it quite that far, especially with, like, such a big, like, long hiatus in between. Because, like, a lot of you guys remember I was gone for, like, 4 years. I think most people still remember that had happened, but we've gotten, like, double the amount of viewers since I came back, so I think maybe a lot of new people might not realize that I was gone for such a long time. But I'm doing good. I'm working real hard on that editing. It's a lot of hours of very intensely focused, very slow, minor edits for hours and hours on end. So actually, in between working on the scenes today and coming here to do the live stream with you guys, I did go on a nice walk. I went to Starbucks, not for a coffee. This time I got a tea. It was a nice English breakfast tea, and I brought my lunch with me, so I had a nice relaxing time outside eating some food, and I finished my nice hot tea, and then I jumped in here with you guys, so I am doing great. It looks like Jazzy must be here in the chat somewhere because I see there he is. Yo, Jazz, hey. Hi, Jazzy! He said maybe we should rename it Season 4, Episode 5. That'll make too long of a title. It's long enough already. Someday, Ask the Sonic Heroes Episode 100. Oh my gosh. Like, man, at least definitely for Episode 50, I would love to do something, like, really fancy. But we're not getting to episode 50 anytime fast. It would be cool if I could manage to do more episodes of Ask the Sonic Heroes per year, but we slowed it down a little bit so that the episodes I do make can be a higher quality. Back in 2017, I was able to, man, I made 2 episodes a month. and they were all like 3-parters. It was so much work. Technically doable, but I don't know that any of the episodes I made in 2017 were necessarily ones that you look back on now and like, yup, that episode was a classic. Still some really good moments in there, but I had to rush production on those to a pretty exhausting level. So now that we're able to, like, allow me to take more time on the editing, and the art team that's helping me out with the new artwork is doing such a beautiful, fantastic job, I do think that the episodes are, like, way better crafted, and so I'm a lot prouder of what I'm working on now than when I was just getting back into it in 2017, which was the year I first came back. Javon Enzor said, "That got me on this channel." Oh yeah? From Ask the Sonic Heroes in general? Excellent. I think that's easily the most popular thing that we do on the channel, aside from, like, the Let's Plays, and we grew from the ground up on things like plush shows and things like that, so we've got a good mixture. I'm really excited for Sonic Chefs to have come back, because I just love making those. It's a real good time, and sometimes, like, the regular, like, sit at your desk 16-hour editing extravaganzas can be maybe a little bit more on the lonelier side, and things like working on Sonic Chefs with the rest of the crew, we all get together and laugh and do dumb stuff on set while, like, making a fun project to share with you guys, so that's lots of fun. Although, to be fair, I don't always sit in a room all by myself and edit for hours. Actually, the rest of the crew has lots of things that they have to log serious hours on too, so sometimes we just have, like, editing parties where we just all get together with our, like, laptops and editing equipment, and so we'll all kind of work in the same space. It's good not to isolate yourself too much. I think many fellow creatives understand what that's like. You've got a lot of work that you're doing, and it's not always, like, the most sociable work, but if you can work, like, around your friends, I think that tends to, it's nice. it motivates everyone, as long as you can stay focused. Stephanie Barnshaw, "I will say hello to Super Nintendo 64 for you." Dorami's Melody said, "I understand that way too much, KN." Yep, yep. A lot of people understand how that goes. Also, I see from Emma Sun, "Thank you for the 750 Icelandic crowns." They said, "Just some love going your way. Are there any Ask the Sonic Heroes episodes you always look forward to making?" You know, I'm in a good place now. I look forward to making all of them. Sometimes the timetable I have to work on the episodes can be stressful because, I really like to take my time to sort of, like, lovingly craft these episodes and, like, do fun little visuals and little jokes, and I've added more bounce to the characters now that, the art team and I have, given them new poses and things, so there's just more I can do with it. I do look forward to making all of them. Man, I'm a sucker for holiday specials, though. So, like, you know, the Valentine's Day special's a lot of fun. I love working on the Christmas and Halloween ones. Like, Halloween-themed stuff is my jam. The one we made for, last year was really, really good. I hope you guys got to see that one. I was so excited. It was the Infinite episode. Dun dun dun! And really quick, I had seen Eli Sylvion say, "Ask the Sonic Heroes, the first episode got me into the channel." Aw, nice! First episode of Ask the Sonic Heroes was, like, way back in 2010, so you've been here, for a full 10 years. Oh my gosh. Thank you for sticking around for so long and getting to, you know, share some of your time with me too on Fridays. It is very special. River and Chica Cosplay said, "Halloween 2020 is gonna be so awesome." I hope so. That sounds like maybe you've got some fun plans for Halloween. I always enjoy working on Halloween stuff in general. It's just the aesthetic is fun. And I love me some pumpkins. I see people in the chat saying Ari needs to take a break. Hang on. What did Ari say? You're working too hard, aren't you? Yeah, there you are. Ariana Draws and Animates said, "You can have my inspiration to draw, Danny. I've been drawing too much." Aha. Well, you know, sometimes inspiration's sort of a good thing to run with. If you've got the, you know, if you feel propelled to create something, run with it, man. But make sure you get enough sleep. That's like my superpower for how exhaustively I'm able to work on projects. I am also maybe the most skilled person I know at getting a good night's sleep. I don't know anyone who can sleep as well as I do. It's like the one, like, major thing I can do that, like, you know, keeps me healthy, motivated. I mean, I get plenty of, like, exercise and sunlight and stuff because I love going on walks and I'm a pretty active person, but man, I can sleep like nobody's business. Like, you know, healthy hours, but consequently, like, Jazzy and everybody call me Grandma Can because I go to sleep, like, so early compared to everybody else. I used to be a night owl, but I developed into an early bird over time. It shifts. Cross Zeo said, "Your channel randomly popped up during my time in high school 11 years ago." Nice! Thank you, YouTube, for allowing me to be seen. I'm glad to hear that you've stuck around for that long, too. It's always really fun to hear, like, where you guys have, like, come from, because it's a really interesting, like, concept, isn't it? Like, we all just sort of find each other on this, big online world, and some people will stick around for such a long time. It's really neat. It is a great honor. System 509 said, "Your channel was the first thing that came up when I was looking for audio to practice animating with." That is fantastic. And I know you've done some animations with it, which those are always fun. Everybody, if you make like little animations of the silly stuff we do around here, please link me. It's so much fun to watch. Amos Amezian said, "I mostly found your Sonic 3 Let's Plays in my recommendations, and now here I am." You know, those did surprisingly well. That Sonic 3 Complete stream was just like, it was almost sort of impromptu. I don't remember that we had like this big idea at the time, like, hey, we're gonna play this, like, game in character, and then, like, it's gonna be a big deal. It really wasn't. We just thought it'd be, like, a fun way, you know, to spend one of the Fun Friday live streams, but we decided to, like, go for the whole thing and play, like, the whole game instead of trying to do only 2 hours. And, I'm glad we did. Everybody, like, there's some really classic moments in there, and people seem to have really liked it. So we've done, you know, a number of things like that since, and it's been, very exciting. I'm glad to hear that's how you first ran into us. Oh no, BirdGirl100 said the first episode that, I think that they're saying that they had seen was the April Fool's episode. Oh no. That must have been interesting. Just totally out of context, getting the April Fool's episode of Ask the Sonic Heroes, or maybe, like, the funny moments from ATSH, or maybe you mean, like, gosh, if it was the April Fool's version of Sonic Chefs, that must have been fascinating. Oh. Joel Mendez said, "I started watching the Sonic and Tails Let's Plays and kept watching, so I subscribed." Well, thank you, Joel. That is neat. Just like I was saying from the last person who mentioned that one. That does seem to be where a lot of people came in as well. I'm glad people liked that so much. That was a lot of fun to work on. System 509 said, "There's an April Fool's episode?" Sort of. There's not an official Ask the Sonic Heroes episode that was, April Fool's themed. What happened was we have, like, sort of a side series of that's like the Ask the Sonic Heroes funny moments, like little compilation videos, and, there was an April Fool's Day version. I remember I don't know if I should say this, but like, when we were putting it up on, like, social media and stuff so people knew that that Funny Moments video was coming out, I was a little nervous about because it was for April Fools. I'm not great at pranks because I get you know, I'm like, oh, I hope, you know, I hope everybody, like, has fun with the prank and nobody, like, gets upset. Because, like, it was, I think that we implied, like, maybe Mario's gonna be in it, but it was supposed, you know, it was supposed to be a joke, and so I was like, I hope everybody, like, it's not like we promised something and then didn't give people anything, it's just, like, so I was really nervous about it. I'm such a, like, a small bean when it comes to, like, like, disappointing anybody, so I'm like, oh, please, everybody, I hope you like the thing that we did make, because it didn't really have Mario in it, that was a joke. Aw. UV, thank you for the 10 Nux bucks. They said, KN, what would you do if you ever open up a YouTube channel membership? Maybe early access? Wait, I got it. Exclusive bloopers / outtakes and behind the scenes. Wait, even better, art commissions! The YouTube channel membership is something I've been, like, looking at. It's kind of confusing right now, but people have, like, requested that as a possibility, which I thank you so much for everybody's support in all the different ways that you can provide it, whether that's hanging out with me here on the live streams, or watching the videos and commenting, or if it's being able to donate or do memberships. I don't really know how it works yet, because I think YouTube was really kind of trying to figure that out, and then they got distracted with other stuff, so it wasn't always, like, super clear. Technically, I have been collecting things that could be fun if, like, there was a separate, like, membership type thing, because I do keep outtakes, or, like, outtake clips from Ask the Sonic Heroes. Surprisingly, we don't have very many of those, because usually if something funny happens, I just keep it in the episode. Like, you guys know how many times, like, the host, like, won't be able to pronounce a name right, or they, like, trip over their words, and then the rest of the cast just laughs about it. Like, normally, like, if you were working on, performing a script, that would count as, like, an outtake, as, oops, we went off script. But no, it's since Ask the Sonic Heroes is, like, an improvised show, I just keep it in there because it's funny. It's always funny when you, like, hear us start cracking up, and the cast is really good about staying in character a lot of the time. But that being said, I have collected outtakes before, so that's something that I could share if we ever did, like, a channel membership thing. Behind the scenes would be something pretty easy to do. Unfortunately, me editing Ask the Sonic Heroes isn't the most interesting thing to look at, but I wouldn't mind doing something like that. And let's see, art commissions, that might be tough. I've always been, like, a little bit interested in trying to do art commissions at some point, but I'm just so busy that I don't know how, like, I would balance that. But those are all really good suggestions. Definitely things to think about. Where's the... Got something from, Yeah, I see the cool one saying, 16 hours of KN staring and tapping at her screen. Yes. I'd get like Mel Drizzly to stand back, like, a few feet and film me doing it. Like, I've done screen recordings of little bits of me editing Ask the Sonic Heroes, like, just in case I ever did, like, a making of or something like that, just so that I'd have, like, content for that. But yeah, it's not the most entertaining thing to look at for long periods of time. I think it's probably interesting in a... I was gonna say interesting in a, like, in small bits. YouTube is going nuts right now. It claims there's only 8 of you guys watching, and, I can see a lot more of you right now. I guess I'll find out if something is going awry, but that looks really odd. So it's just like, 8 people are here. I'm like, nuh-uh. There's a bunch of you guys. Emma, I see the Icelandic crowns. I'm gonna need to scroll up and look for your comment that went with it, because I can't quite see it right here. But in the meantime, Zoom B6 the Dasher said, please notice me, KN. I've never been noticed in a stream. Oh, well, hi. Hello, Zoom B6 the Dasher. I hope you're having an excellent Friday. Anyway, the rest of their comment was that they said, my first episode ever was a few months ago, actually. It was the Sonic Forces episode of Ask the Sonic Heroes. Oh, like the 3-parter one that was like a press conference, like the big one? We had a, like, the Christmas special was, like, Team Forces that had Sonic and the Custom Hero Gadget, and also Maria, who kinda counts as another Sonic Forces, like, Custom Hero character. And then we also had, like, the Halloween one where Infinite was, kidnapping Team Dark. So, like, there's been a lot of, like, neat Sonic Forces, like, themed kind of episodes, but, like, we had, like, a big 3-parter one. Man, I worked so hard on the 3-parter, like, press conference Ask a Sonic Heroes for after Sonic Forces came out. I had so much fun working on that. That was a good time. Very good time. Yep, there, okay, YouTube is, it says now that we're, around 130 people here, which sounds a lot more, correct. Let's see, here, okay. Neon Twigs said, I've been watching your stuff since I first really started interacting with the online Sonic community about 4 or 5 years ago. I've loved your work ever since. Aw. Well, I'm glad I got to have an influence on that, on the early years of interacting. There are so many, like, really incredibly talented people in this community. Like, wow. I hope that over time you have found a lot of, other interesting people to follow and interact with too, because there's a lot of talent around here and a lot of really nice people. Let's see. Aha! Emma! I can see the rest of your comment now. Emma Sun, thank you for the 750 Icelandic crowns. They said, I think Be My Valentine or Else was the first video I saw on your channel when I was a wee lass, and I would always check your channel for more videos. That was a good one. That was a good... I really do think fondly back on my much older body of work, because I started the Sonic Song 182 channel with my sister Ames back in, I think it was the summer of 2008. And what we were known for at that time, as, you know, we never expected to have an audience at all. Like, we just had, like, this silly, like, Sonic the Hedgehog side account for, like, all of our, like, you know, non-serious, like, just fun Sonic-themed projects. And then we, like, got an audience, like, that felt like it was basically out of nowhere, but where our original audience grew up from, because this was, like, pre-Ask the Sonic Heroes or anything like that. We would do, plush shows, and Be My Valentine or Else was a really fun one. That one, like, most of the, plush films that we made were based off of, like, different movies, like, a Sonic Christmas Carol, which was basically a mashup between A Christmas Carol and The Grinch. There was Shadow and the 13 Ghosts, which was based on my favorite horror movie, which is called 13 Ghosts. But Be My Valentine or Else was a really fun one because that was a fully original script. It wasn't based on anything else. It's just, I had a fun idea for how to introduce Silver the Hedgehog to the channel. And also, that was the first time we had, like, a big audience interaction thing. Because we did a big vote for which Sonic couple people wanted to be the main character for our Valentine's plush movie. And people picked Sonic and Amy, so it was a Sonic and Amy story in which Silver the Hedgehog was introduced to the channel for the first time. And, that was fun! And I remember being so excited that 300 people participated! 300 people! And now there's, like, there's so many more of you guys now. It's been quite a journey. And thank you, Shadowstar13, for the 2 Nux bucks. They said, hello, hope everyone is having a good Friday. Thank you, Shadowstar13. That is a nice thing to say. So everybody in the chat, that seems to have been for you too. I hope that you are having a nice Friday. Let's see. Whoop, okay. The chat just, like, super jumped down low. Oh, thank you. Annie Blackburn Thompson said you deserve it, KN. I think that's about the following kind of growing from the ground up, almost out of nowhere. Well, thank you so much. That's is very kind. I'm glad you think so. Oh, Ginger Arnold was asking, do you think somebody would be doing Styx the Badger's voice on your channel? And Sapphire Phoenix 26 said, who's KN? That's me! Hi everybody, my name is KN. I am the director of the channel. I'm the lead weirdo in charge of all the silliness we've got going over here, and also you may be able to tell I also voice some of the characters. Usually you hear me as Rouge the Bat, sometimes as Blazoned Maria, and also I voice Bokun. Many of those roles I didn't intentionally give to myself, it's just I originally had like other people in mind, or they were actually cast to somebody else, but then as some people needed to leave the channel, like Maria for example, I just ended up playing that role, etc, etc. But yes, when people are saying KN in the chat, they're talking about me. But some people, you might see them calling me Nux. That was my original nickname on the channel from like the really, really early years before we had an audience, but the reason why it's basically, I slashed that nickname in half from being Nux to KN, because my sister and I, her nickname is Ames, but she used to go by Amy on the channel just because we, like, nicknamed ourselves after our, like, favorite characters, because, like, we didn't have an audience at the time, it was just for fun anyway. But we had to, because there were two of us, we had to differentiate which one of us was talking in the comments, excuse me, so we had to label our name, like our comments with our nickname, which was Nux, or Amy. But that got confusing because people kept thinking we were trying to roleplay with them in the comments, and that wasn't it at all. So actually, pretty early on, we started going by KN and Ames, and so that's who KN is. Anyway, jumping back to Ginger Arnold's comment, I don't think that, well, right now there aren't any plans of including Styx the Badger on the channel in any larger, meaningful way. Surprisingly, with warm-ups, I'm able to do that voice. I was cast to play her in a, like a big fan game project that was in production for a few years. I think in the end that the fan game couldn't be made in its current, like, state, so I think that it was officially canceled, but I have been cast in this role before. I've just never been in anything where the project came to a point where people could see it. But I'm not really looking for voices for Styx the Badger, because I don't really have any plans of her joining. Yeah, I don't have much Sonic Boom material going on my channel. That kind of counts as like an alternate universe, and I haven't seen nearly enough Sonic Boom episodes to be able to present it well on the channel. That's another reason why I don't have, you know, aside from the canon clashing, I also don't do like stuff with Archie or IDW comics on Sonic Song, just because I wouldn't feel right trying to write stories about those versions of the characters and stuff unless I had a lot more research under my belt, because, you know, I'd get a lot of stuff wrong, and as a storyteller, that's important to me, to be able to at least be, like, somewhat competent in the material. Abel G Games A said, I hope you have a great Friday, too. Excellent. Yes, I hope everybody does have a great Friday, and for me, mine is going great so far. I'm feeling good, being productive. System 509 said, what are your interests outside of Sonic? Let's see. What's stuff that people would have heard of? I mean, I am a big Disney fan. I've got a couple of Disney related posters on my wall. Some of my favorites are, like, you know, like the big 90s ones, like Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin and Lion King and Mulan. Like that whole, like, pack right there, those are very iconic in my existence. I'm also a big fan of some of the newer ones, like, I really love the first Frozen movie, Big Hero 6, I love that movie, it's so good, Entangled. There's a lot. I have a huge heart for Disney stuff, like, I go to Disney conventions and things like that, so, like, I think I'd have to say that's my other big fandom. In fact, for a few years, I was in a Disney writing group, and that was fun. Like, you'd audition to write for certain characters, and I had, like, a number of them that I wrote as, so that was fun. I enjoy Pokemon, but I'm not very up to date because, it was, like, the first 3 gens of Pokemon that I'm more familiar with. It's, like, mostly the first 2, so, and I played some Pokemon Sun. Like, I'm still, like, a current fan. I love it. It's just that I'm not up to date on the games, unfortunately, so, there's that. I really, really love Over the Garden Wall, if you guys have heard of that one. It was a Cartoon Network miniseries. Like, I am, like, in love with that project. I have Over the Garden Wall posters on my wall, too. I'm, like, looking around at my walls, like, what do I like? I'm a fan of, like, Kingdom Hearts, obviously, and, Final Fantasy games. Mostly, the ones that I've played are Final Fantasy 4, 7, 8, 9, and 10? I guess I haven't played any recent ones. My favorite of them is Final Fantasy 8. And I love Yuri on Ice. That was a very good show. I enjoy ice skating. So it was kind of a natural draw there. Like, just a beautiful show. The choreography was fun. The characters were fun. It didn't get so, like, love dramatic to be like, you know, I like a cute romance also. I don't like it as much when it's, like, super dramatic and all the characters are having, like, misunderstandings and, like, that one was cute and it was all about ice skating. Fantastic. Let's see, I'm sure I could go on and on, but that does that covers a lot, I think. I guess probably that's not limited to just shows. I do enjoy ice skating, but unfortunately I don't live, like, I am not currently living in a place where ice skating, like, the rink is pretty far from where I am, so I can't, like, regularly practice, or else I would go and get lessons. I just find it to be very relaxing. I enjoy the activity a lot. I train in martial arts. I enjoy walking. I enjoy hiking, but not by myself because, you never know when, like, giant animals might show up. Yeah, I like many things. I think that pretty well covers it. Viewed Writer said, if you liked Final Fantasy X, you should try Final Fantasy 15. It was a beautiful feels trip. Oh yeah, I really enjoy RPG games because I'm a big story person. I love stories. Something that's kind of difficult for me though is just that I'm so busy. Like you guys, a lot of you guys know that I love Kingdom Hearts. It took me almost a year to actually get to play Kingdom Hearts 3, even though I pre-ordered the game, I got all the pre-order swag, and I was so excited, but I'm so busy with work that I just didn't have time to play the game. Like, work always gets, like, prioritized. And so what I ended up doing is like, I've got a great idea! Rouge plays Kingdom Hearts 3. And so because I could play it, like, kind of for work, I actually got, like, a routine, like, schedule to sit down and enjoy my game. And that was fun, especially because I got to, like, play it with, like, a bunch of, like, you guys. So that was a good time. Oh yes, and Iris Dark said, it's a chow! Yeah, that is going to be Cheese, who is, gonna be chilling out on Cream's head in her Ask the Sonic Heroes artwork. I've got a few, Nux Bucks to catch up on. I'm gonna jump back here. Danimals BP. Oh, looks like you sent me 2. Thank you for the 5 Nux Bucks for the first one. And Danimals BP said, "Hi KN, how have you been? I'm currently brainstorming on designs for characters I've had for ages for World Beyond Belief, the story my mascot comes from." Oh, sweet. That can be kind of a fun stage. Like, you just, I'm not sure what your workflow is like. It sounds like since you're brainstorming designs, like, you know, that makes it pretty clear, like, what stage you're on, but that can be fun, just kind of messing with the designs and seeing what you like the best. Sometimes when I'm doing character creation, like, man, I'm on, like, Pinterest boards and, like, Google images for hours, just, like, looking at things to get, like, a spark of an idea, and then I kind of run from there. I'm like, oh, that's an interesting concept, or like, this catches my attention, and then I'll come up with my own idea based on like, what that little kernel of inspiration was. But, you know, like, design-wise, normally I've got an idea of what I want my character to be like. I'm just like, what kind of design do I want to go with? And so, that's a fun stage. I hope you're having fun and coming up with some good things that excite you. Also, thank you for the second 5 Nux Bucks that you sent. Danimals BP said, "Oh my god, you rule! FF8 and FF4 are my favorites as well! As mopey as Squall is, I relate to that character so much, and Cecil and Kane are amazing characters." Squall is my boy! He's my favorite! When I was first playing the game, like, my favorite in Final Fantasy VIII was Zell, just because he was funny. I still love Zell, but, like, probably because he was also, Squall was also in Kingdom Hearts as Leon, my affection for that character has only grown. I know he's, like, mopey, but I love Squall. He's mopey and dramatic and takes himself very seriously, but I love him. And Cecil and Kane are both very good characters. My favorite from Final Fantasy IV was Edward, though, the spoony bard. He was pretty good. He was pretty good. A little bit ago, Deathshot314 asked, do you have a least favorite episode of Ask the Sonic Heroes? Oh wow, nobody ever asks that. You know, I appreciate, I guess, all of the work that I do. You know, because it's always hard work, it's a journey, and I try to put, like, the most effort that I can into everything. I would have to say that, alright, I think I've got 2 things here. Let's see if I end up forgetting one or the other. My first instinct is to say, I'm not as proud of my episodes that I made in 2017 when I was really pushing episode production, and it was because, when I went away on what was basically a 4-year hiatus, which was like an extended break because I went away to college. And what happened was, like, every once in a while there'd be like some small update on the channel, like the Team Babylon episode of Ask the Sonic Heroes that came out like during the hiatus after my computer crashed and killed the entire episode twice. The one that finally came out on the channel was the 3rd time I had to start from the very beginning and remake the whole thing. It was so exhausting. That should have come out so much sooner than it did. But anyway, I was gone for about, like, 4 years, not really making any new content, including at least 2 years or so where there was just 0 that anybody had ever heard of me. The only way that people knew I was still around was that every year I was still in, Steve from Belena Productions' Sonic projects. Like, I was in Christmas with Sonic and all of, like, his animations he was making. That was the only time anybody saw me for years. In October 2016, I came right back out of nowhere, like, with a random live stream that wasn't even planned. I didn't know what was going on. I was just drawing, like, new potential artwork for Ask the Sonic Heroes because I wanted to come back. But that's when I first got back. It was late 2016, so the next year, all throughout 2017, I worked really, really hard to get, like, back into the game, back into the swing of things. I was super rusty with with my Sonic content, and people didn't really know I was back yet, so I felt like in order to, get everyone to realize I had returned, I needed to, like, really produce a lot. And so it ended up getting to a point where I was doing, like, 2 episodes a month. they were all like 3 videos long, so it was like making 6 Ask the Sonic Heroes episodes in 1 month. Exhausting. And the problem was that because I was working so hard and the production schedule was so tight, I didn't really have a lot of time to craft the episodes. Like, so I had to rush things. And because of that, it's a little hard for me to go back and watch my episodes from like 2017 because every one of them could have been better if I was just doing less overall episodes at the time. Like, what I'm doing right now is like, it's 1 episode like nearly like every other month, and now I'm really getting to like dig in and do fun little edits and things, whereas like in 2017 all of those episodes I had to rush and like work so fast and so hard. So it's like it's not that they're my least favorite exactly, it's just that they're the least memorable. Like, I remember some really, like, good, fun moments from that year in the episodes, but for there being, like, there had to have been, like, 20 to 30 videos for Asuka Sonic Heroes I made that year. That might be, like, an overestimate, I'm not sure. There weren't nearly as many standout moments, whereas, like, now, like, in the years that followed after I slowed down again a little bit, and started taking my time more, instead of being so worried about, like, really pushing numbers, for, like, the amount of work I was doing, the episodes overall, I feel like, are so much better now, like, because I'm able to really take my time and do all of the things that I want to do, instead of being like, I've got this cute editing idea, there's this neat thing I want to do, but I just don't have time, so I don't have time to do it, so I had to run by it. So I guess I would say, like, my body of work in 2017 was not as memorable. I didn't forget the second thing. I was gonna say it actually physically pains me to watch my first 6 episodes of Asuka Sonic Heroes because I've come such a long way in my ability to edit. Like, basically every part of the pipeline, like, right down to the audio part. The first episodes, like, my audio editing is so bad. Like, they were good for the time. I was not cognizant of these problems at the time because, like, everybody's microphones were kind of bad. And, like, the video quality was kind of bad. It was the pacing. Oh, man, the pacing is so bad. But it just goes to show, like, how far I've come as, like, an editor for these things, that it's like that the first episodes feel that bad to me. But I know at the time, back in 2010, that was good stuff. If, like, my magnum opus episodes were back, like, 10 years ago, and, like, I had never gotten any better than that, I feel like that might have been a problem. Okay, I'm gonna... Good heavens. I'm going to, let's see, I think I saw like, there's a few Nux Bucks that came through that I'm gonna have to, catch. The chat just did, like, such a huge jump, it startled me. I'm sorry, that's why I made that strange noise. I'm gonna jump back to... Oh, well, I wanted to get, one more of the, like, from the chat before I go back to the Nux Bucks, so don't worry, you guys. Like, Shadowstar and Marty Man, I see your chats there. I will jump back to you very soon. It was, 72 Acemon said, speaking of Christmas with Sonic, now that Steve is on your channel, and since this will be the last Christmas with Sonic ever this year, do you think you'll ever include Sonya and Manic in any of your projects? Alright, real talk. I've always wanted to put Sonya and Manic in my projects. Like, I think that would be really cute. I would love to do that. There's a lot of things that are like that to me, where I'm like, man, that would be fun. I would love to do an episode featuring such and such character, or, like, you know, with, you know, doing such and such thing. But a big problem with just, like, I unfortunately can't just add characters to the show very easily, because, like, when did we start this, current set of artwork for Asuka Sonic Heroes? It I think, I'm not sure, but I think maybe it's up to 2 years now, and we're still doing the Team Rose artwork. We still got to do like the Team Chaotix artwork. Whoa. Like, the art pipeline takes a really long time to do. Partly, like, you know, I am quite busy with work, and so, you know, I do as much as I can. But it's, not a fast process to add new characters. It would be, you know, months of additional work, to get new characters like Sonya and Manic on the show. However, that being said, if the opportunity arose and it worked out with the artist pipeline, that's something I would love to do. Maybe someday. We'll see. Right now, there are not plans of doing that, but you never know what the future will hold, or when, like, the right inspiration will suddenly pop up out of nowhere. Thank you for the question. Okay, let me jump up to the Nux Bucks like I promised. Shadowstar 13, thank you for the 2 Nux Bucks. They said come to MN. You can skate anywhere. Is that Minnesota? I'm so sorry if I've got the wrong spot. That sounds great. I wish I had more accessible, like, I wish that the skating rink was closer. Because again, like I mentioned earlier in the stream, I would actually, like, invest in ice skating lessons so I can, you know, become, like, a good skater if I lived close enough to do it regularly. Because, like, right now, like, I can stay on my feet pretty well. I've got good balance, and I just go around the rink, and it's almost meditative in a way. Like, it's just a nice way to, like, relax and be outside. There's something kind of charming about it also. Like, you know, having grown up in cold places, it's just, like, you know, it was just a thing that I loved to do, and it's been, like, a long time since I've gotten to do it, like, regularly. Again, the rink is just too far. Also, thank you, Shadowstar13, for the additional 2 Nux Bucks. They said, hashtag Wheel of Smooches! Oh gosh, the boys burned that down years ago. I hope you don't mind. That definitely, was lit on fire many years ago. I think it was since last year that Sonic Shadow and Silver burned it to the ground. Oh my goodness, there were a lot of Nux Bucks while I forget, wow, sorry, there goes my watch. I forget what I was talking about, but there was a lot of Nux Bucks that came through at that time. Thank you guys so much. MartyMan641, thank you for the 5 Nux Bucks. They said, got a theory that Tails in the human world is Tom. After all, Sonic had the cross dimensions to go to the human world. Who is Sonic in the human world? Interesting. You know, that's an interesting way of looking at things, because, like, for example, in a way, in, like, Blaze's dimension, she's like the alternate dimension Sonic. Like, there's not, like, an exact one-to-one, like, changeover, but in her dimension, she's kind of like the role of Sonic, but also, like, kind of like the Knuckles character. So if you wanted to think of, like, which person running around in the human dimension is the Sonic, I wouldn't even know how to begin answering that question, but it's an interesting theory. Definitely something to think about. Doremi's Melody, thank you for the 4 Nux Bucks and 99 Sonic cents. They said, gonna be using the stream as background noise as I'm drawing in Clip Studio Paint. Cream is looking great so far. KN, PS, KN, save your art. Thank you, Doremi, for that reminder. 2 quick things. That's a great way to liven things up while you're working on, you know, your projects, your background work. I do that too. I listen to YouTube videos while I work. Like, however, it has turned out that I can't work on really serious stuff like Ask the Sonic Heroes and, like, the artwork for ATSH and talk at the same time. So the other thing is, like it says in the description, this is, fortunately, very, very saved work. This is, the work that I was doing earlier this week, I think? I forget when exactly, but, this isn't, I'm not live drawing right now. Like, I'll bring my mouse over here. Look! Competing mouses! Wait, where'd it go? Oh shoot, there it is. I pre-recorded this so that you guys can still get to see some of the art production for Ask the Sonic Heroes, because I know a lot of people were missing those streams, but I unfortunately can't talk and do my Ask the Sonic Heroes art at the same time. I make too many mistakes. It hurts the rest of my friends who are helping me with the artwork, so no worries. This artwork is super duper saved. But thank you for the reminder, because boy, sometimes I need it. I'm going to jump to the normal chat for a moment, and then I'll go back up to the Nuxbucks. I see some from Ivan and Reggie and Danimals. BP is in there. I will jump back up there soon. Alexis Steinman said, Cream is so cute. Wait, is this live? Well, sort of. I'm not live drawing right now. This is a, previous recording of the artwork that I did before, so you guys can see what, like, you know, more of the art process for Ask the Sonic Heroes without me making a bunch of distracted mistakes. However, I, the speaking voice saying hello to you, Alexis Steinman, I am the part that is live. Something that's kind of fun about that, though, if I do, if I do have, like, some pre-recorded artwork, it does mean I get to, like, look at the chat a little bit more. I can still only, like, really answer, like, one thing at a time, so unfortunately I can't get to everybody's questions. I wish I could, but there's, like, at least 140 of you guys. So, like, imagine talking to a room that had 140 people in it. That's like a lecture hall at school. That's, like, what, in high school, it's, many times, like, a regular, like, class size. So, unfortunately, I still can't, like, get to everybody's questions, even though I wish I could. But I am speaking live, but the artwork is not live. That's from previous. Why am I? Please, no. I'm busy. Phone, I'm talking to my friends. Okay. And real quick, a follow-up question. Alexis Steinman was saying, oh, thanks for saying hello. Hate to break the fourth wall, but aren't you the voice of my favorite girl, Rouge? Yes, I am. I do the, voices on the Sonic Song 182 channel for Rouge the Bat, and Blaze the Cat, Maria Robotnik the Hedgehog, and Bokoon. Nobody wants to hear lots of, me doing Bokoon, though. Unfortunately, to do that voice, I literally have to, like, shout the whole time. It's incredibly obnoxious. Shadow Me Story said, KN, Tails might have a small cameo in the Sonic movie. I guess we'll have to see. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing the movie. I can't believe it's in, like, a week. You guys, is it a week? You guys, the Sonic movie's coming out a week from today. You know what that also means? My target release date for Ask the Sonic Heroes is also a week from today. How horrifying. There's so much work to be done. This time's gonna be a crunch, unfortunately. I know I was talking earlier in the stream about, like, I really like to take my, like, a lot more time now to really work on crafting the episodes, and I've hit a pretty sweet spot, I think. Unfortunately, like, a lot of things happened in January that created some delays. Everything is, back on track now, but it does mean I got a pretty late start on editing for Ask the Sonic Heroes. So everybody, wish me luck. I'm still, this thing is gonna come out on the 14th. It's just, I'm gonna have to work really, really hard to make that happen. But that is the plan. Oh, Shadow the Hedgehog said, Sonic movie next weekend! Yes. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's coming out so soon. We've got, definitely, I'm going with, like, the whole squad. It's gonna be a great time. Pencil Person said, I love the age up of them both. Do you mean, cream and cheese? Technically, like, I guess I don't know for sure if that's what you mean. Cream and cheese, I think, are being represented just as, still the same age here, in the artwork on the screen, but They have definitely gotten a glow up in terms of the artwork. And the previous Cream the Rabbit artwork with Cheese wasn't even like that long ago, just a couple of years, and it looks part of the reason why it looks like really good and a lot better right now is, again, I'm not doing it all by myself anymore. I do have the art team teaming up with me on this one. That's Toby Tots doing the pose sketches for like the characters. So like each character has 8 poses, and Toby Tots came up with the different poses for each of them. I'm next in the pipeline, actually, so you guys are seeing the kind of work that I do. I draw the heads of the characters and the facial expressions, so like all the mouths and like the eyes and like the different, like those changing facial expressions they can make, and I do the line art. I used to do line art and flat coloring, but to be announced, I've got another member who has joined the art squad who's doing the flat colors now, just to help us speed things up, because we really do want to get the artwork done this year. And so after her is Musical Sushi, who's the 4th person in the art squad, and she takes everything and gives it the shading and highlighting, which makes everything look beautiful. Alright, and let me jump back to the Nux Bucks. Again, thank you guys so much. That's so nice of you. Ivan Barrera, thank you for the 5 Nux Bucks. They said, how did you meet GGD for voice acting in The Murder of Me? Oh man, it's been a while now. Let me see. Well, I was familiar with the comic already. Like, I enjoyed reading it. It was a very good story. Lots of fun to read. I love me some drama. The story's got like a level of drama, and honestly, there's some like violence in there that's kind of not quite the style that I present on my channel, and so it's fun to participate in that style of storytelling elsewhere. I can't actually remember right now like how I met Gigi, or how the process for being asked to come aboard for a few of the character voices over there was like. Just because it was like, it's been a couple of years now. I just remember that the team asked if I could do like Amy Rose's voice, and also Blaze, and one of the characters in the show named Queen Soul, and so now I do perform over there. Really good time, very fun characters, excellent story. But I am so sorry. Right now I can't quite remember the details of how it happened. Like, you know, that's kind of similar for a lot of places where I perform. Like, it's been, I don't take on many projects these days just because I'm so busy with work, and I forget like the details of how I started in some things. It's just kind of like been there for a while now. Yeah, I play Amy and Blaze and Queen Soul on GGD's comic drama The Murder of Me. It's a, you know, it obviously it's a Sonic comic. fan comic. Reggie Rattler, thank you for the 20 Nux Bucks. Thank you so much. They said, I've been here since 2012. I remember when you first went offline, but the whole time I stayed and waited, and when you came back, it warmed my heart. Also, I finally got an account and subscribed in 2017, and I'm glad to still be here. Oh, that's interesting. So you've been watching since before you had an account? Nice. Yeah, you came up, like, not that, like, I think it was around, like, 2013-ish, like, 2012 to 2013-ish when I had to, like, go, and so it looks like you weren't there for very long until I had to, like, leave, but, you know, all my projects were still up, and then it was all the way until 2016, late 2016, that I came out of nowhere again. I'm glad to hear that you stuck around. I was really very surprised when I came back in that, like, October stream, just out of nowhere. And blah, blah, blah. There were a lot of people, actually, that showed up to that stream. It was unannounced. No one had heard from me in years. And there were a lot of people that came to like that stream out of nowhere, and everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, KN! Whoa!" And like it was neat, and I was pretty shy back then. Like really, it's really interesting to go back and like watch that first stream. It was before like the numbered Fun Fridays. It was just like a random art stream where I was drawing Sonic the Hedgehog artwork for a revamp of Ask the Sonic Heroes. And my live stream demeanor was so different. Like, I've got so, like, my my interaction energy is so much higher now just because I have a lot more experience. Like, I'm still an introvert, I'm still kind of shy, but these days well, it's kind of always been sort of that way. Like, I'm shy, but it comes out as, like, nervous energy, but I'm a lot more comfortable now, like, live streaming because, like, what is it? This is Fun Friday number 167, excluding like others. You know, I've done other streams that weren't Fun Fridays, but that's 167 live streams, so I've got some experience. But it was really interesting to see who was still around and that people actually remembered, you know, that that I existed. And so that was a lot of fun and fascinating to compare. There's a lot of F in the chat. I have no idea what happened. I just see that 21 Noobs said type F in the chat, but I don't know what happened. I think that technically nothing happened. It's just we're pressing F in the chat. Let me see. I don't know why, but here we go. Psychosonic fan said, what gave you the idea to do a YouTube channel? I have two favorite YouTube channels, and you're one of them, and the other one is the Xylo Cave. I cannot speak! Cave, the Xylo Cave. Excellent. One, thank you. That is an honor. That's really cool that I'm one of your favorites. We're a big squad over here, and we work real hard. What gave me the idea for a YouTube channel is actually before starting Sonic Song, my main channel that I started in July 2007, that was like a whole year before Sonic Song. I was just a voice acting channel. I did a few, like, I produced a few projects at that time, like nothing like super fancy. They were basically like voice acted sprite comics that I was making back then. But I like started YouTube because well, first my older brother told me about this YouTube thing, and he was like, you can look up anything you want on there and find videos about it. And I'm like, really? I remember the first thing I looked up, because I just drew a complete blank, like, what's an internet video? So I just typed up like monkeys. That was my first YouTube search ever. I looked for videos about monkeys, but then I was like, oh hey, wait a minute. And then I looked up videos about Kingdom Hearts. It was like, oh my gosh, people are making music videos about Kingdom Hearts. And then after that, I found out that people were doing like fan dubs of mangas, and they'd like hold auditions and stuff, so you could do voice acting on the internet. That was fascinating, because my friends and I always did stuff like that. We'd do recorded voice acting, but only for like our own like projects. They weren't posted anywhere, like people didn't come and see it. It's just something that we did for fun for ourselves. We'd voice act like comics and things like that. And so when I found out you could collaborate with people online and do stuff like that, that was neat. And so my first YouTube videos were me doing voice auditions for these different projects, and so I'd get cast in some things, not always. To be honest, like 90% of the time, the things I would get cast in would never get made. In fact, I think I could even say 95 to 98% of the time, whatever I was performing in didn't like it never actually happened. And you know, that's common. I think a lot of times people get voice actors together for projects a little bit too early. Even I have done that before. It's tough to know when is the right time to get the performance crew in there. But anyway, that's how I started on YouTube. But my sister Ames also got a voice acting YouTube channel, and so we both just had like our own voice acting YouTube channels. And then what ended up happening was Like, I grew up on Sonic the Hedgehog stuff. Like, Knuckles was, like, my childhood hero when I was a little kid. He was my, like, some people grow up with, like, Superman being, like, their number one fave that they adore. Everybody's got their own hero. Mine was Knuckles the Echidna. He was so cool. I dressed as him for Halloween with, like a homemade costume once when I was little. Like, he was just the coolest, and I just, like, I loved the Sonic games and, like, those early Archie comics, and so I was really into it growing up, but, when, like, we moved away to a different town when I was, like, 10 or so, and, like, I kind of, like, lost access to, like, to the comics, because there wasn't a comic shop anymore where I moved to. And also, I didn't have the right game systems. Like, when Sonic jumped to 3D on, like, the Dreamcast, I never had a Dreamcast. So I missed just eras of Sonic stuff. And so it was just me and my, like, 90s content of Sonic the Hedgehog for many, many years. And, like, I'd see stuff come out over the years. I think I was in, like, middle school or, like, early high school or something when Sonic X was on TV. And I saw, like, commercials that had Rouge the Bat in it, and I was like, oh, wow, she looks really cool. I love her, but I don't really have time to, like, watch much TV these days. And so I didn't watch the show. I saw, like, commercials for the Shadow the Hedgehog video game, and I was like, what is that? Why is there emo Sonic, and why is he on a motorcycle, and why does he have a gun? It was, like, the weirdest jump. Like, think about the last, like, actual Sonic games I had played was, like, the ones on the Sega Genesis in the 90s. So you got, like, little Sonic the Hedgehog, like, fighting robots to free his animal friends. And now here comes Shadow the Hedgehog on a motorcycle with a gun. I'm like, what? What? I had no idea what to make of that. I was like, wow, this series has changed a lot. I don't really understand it. And so how do you get back into a series after you've missed so much? So I just had my nostalgic love of the series. But my sister actually, she picked up a copy of Sonic Heroes on the PlayStation. I think it was PlayStation 2? I forget, but she picked up Sonic Heroes, and I was watching her play the game. And so that was, like, my first introduction to a lot of these characters. Like, aha, there's the motorcycle guy. But he wasn't, like, running around with, like, a motorcycle and a gun anymore. Like, he seemed, they didn't have, like, a lot of writing in that game, but it was cute and it was fun and there were a lot of characters and I didn't understand where Mighty went. Like, I was, I knew Team Chaotix from the Knuckles Chaotix game. I never got to play that one, but I knew, like, they were the group of four and they were in the Archie comics. There was always those four, but, like, Mighty just randomly got cut. I'm like, okay, no Mighty, I guess. And so, like, and it was the first time I'd seen Cream. It was the first time I'd seen Big. And so that was my introduction to, like, a lot of the characters. And it was adorable and it was good fun and it really got, like, my nostalgia to kick in. And, like, my birthday that year, I went to, like, a comic shop and I saw this plushie of Knuckles the Echidna and I'm like, oh, he's so cute, I love him. And my mom actually ended up getting me that, like, Knuckles plushie as a birthday gift, and that's the same Knuckles plushie that is on the channel now. It's the same one from, like, all those years ago. And I'm a collector. So once I had the Knuckles, when I found out that there was, like, a Sonic and a Tails and a Cream, I got those ones. And then, like, my little cousins, they made me, like, a little puppet show with the Knuckles plushie, and it was so cute. And I was like, you know what? That sounds like just, good random fun. Because my sister and we were already doing, like, fun, like, little Sonic projects. Like, we were doing the Sonic the Hedgehog character singing the lyrics to, like, the musical Wicked, the one, like, about the Wicked Witch of the West. And so we had started the Sonic Song 182 channel as a place to host this musical we were singing as Sonic characters, because we didn't feel like it really quite belonged on our on our like voice acting channels because it was so off the walls compared to what we were doing over there. So we like had this separate like little channel that nobody was gonna watch. It was just like our little like private secret channel for all of our like awesome fun like silly Sonic stuff. And so like I put my cousin's like little puppet show they made me on there, and Ames and I were singing our musicals and stuff. And then I got to thinking like, well, you know, I enjoy doing the voice acting thing, and that puppet show was super cute. Like, I just wanted to see what would happen if, like, I made, like, a puppet show knowing what I knew at the time about, like, you know, video production and getting a voice acting crew together. And it was just, you know, it was just supposed to be, like, this fun little Halloween thing I was doing. And that was it. That was just Shadow and the 13 Ghosts. And, well, people watched it from out of nowhere. I'm like, who are you people? I'm glad you liked it. And so, well, like, people actually came out of nowhere to watch this project that we didn't expect to have, like, an audience for. I mean, that was, like, we did a few, like, little practice videos in between, but that was the project where we got, like, a Super Nintendo 64, like, into the cast, and, like, that's where a lot of our original, like, OG actors came in. It was that very first project that we did. And then, well, it just turned into something, I guess, and so that's kind of what, like, the history of the YouTube channel was, because after that, because people watched that, like, little Halloween video I was making, it was fun to work with the voice actors that had come in for it, and, like, people actually liked it, and so, like, well, okay, I'll make a Christmas special. Well, okay, I'll make a Valentine's Day special. And then it kept going on and on like that with, like, the plush projects until, like, we did the Be My Valentine or Else project where we had, like, a voting thing where people voted on which, like, couple they wanted to be in our Valentine's movie. And, like, that was really fun to get, like, the audience interacting with us in some way. And so actually that then, around, like, 2010... the YouTube channel had started in, like, 2008, so around, like, 2010, because we had so much fun with, like, that Be My Valentine or Else, like, voting thing, I was like, well, what else can we do that gets, like, the audience involved, because that was a lot of fun, like, that was neat. So I was like, well, I've already got, like, all these voice actors who just do a beautiful job, voice acting these characters, and we've got, like, the whole, like, main Sonic the Hedgehog cast here of, like, the modern characters, so... heck, why don't we do, like, an interview show? That'll be fun. Like, people can write comments, and then we'll, like, have the characters answer. That sounds like a great time. And so we started collecting questions that way and did our first few episodes, and then, all of a sudden, you know, like, and then that show did, like, really well. People, you know, enjoyed interacting with us, and we enjoyed interacting with them. And so then we had both, like, the plush shows going, and then also Ask the Sonic Heroes. And, well, now you see where we are now. We really didn't do, like, gaming content back before the hiatus, between about 2013 to 2016-ish. So that stuff is a little bit more new, like, since coming back, but, like, well, when you think about it, man, like, 2016 almost doesn't count, because I came back, like, right at the end of that, but it's, like, 2017, 18, and 2019, so, like, a full 3 years since coming back, good heavens. So it's been pretty staple content since then, but, like... There's the history lesson. Technically, the question was just, why did you make a YouTube channel? And there's the whole history. Thank you guys for the more Nuxbucks that came through. Let me see if I can jump through some of those. And then I will check on everybody here in the chat. Blue Destiny Dragon Kaiju said 11 years and still going, though. Yes, it's been such a long time. Like, what a journey. Like, again, just to, like, it's kind of hard to, like, hit it home with, like, the concept of that this, like, Sonic Song 182 was just, like, a little side channel that my sister and I made just for fun, where we didn't expect anybody to be watching. Like, we specifically made this channel like, because nobody would be watching, so that we could sing, we could, like, with our terrible Dr. Like, I was the voice actress for Dr. Eggman in those singing videos we were making. Like, I was singing a song sounding like this! Ho 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 ho! Like, it was like that. This was not a serious musical, and we, like, made it, like, Sonic Song specifically because nobody was gonna be watching us over here. And now look what happened. You really never know if you, like, start working on projects just for, like, the joy of them. You never know what can come of it later, but it's, like, it's much better to start that way, I think. It's really hard, I think, if you're starting with, like, how do I do this thing to become well-known and popular? Like, that sounds so stressful. This is, like, all of this is just, like, it came from the joy of making a thing, and then a lot of luck and hard work. It's like, it's both. It is very much both. But again, thank you guys for, having been, like, watching us for so long. It's like, it's really special. And thank you, Rui, for the comment saying, love the channel story. Yes, thank you so much. I'm glad that it's entertaining to hear about, but that is the story. Jumping up to the Nux Bucks. Thank you, Danimals BP, for the 10 Nux Bucks. They said, I'm actually done with the main cast and working on side characters and world building. Also, I think Squall is my overall favorite, and Cypher needs to be in more games so I can hear him say chicken wuss more. Yes. Cypher was lucky. He got into Kingdom Hearts. I did think that was a little weird, though, when I was first playing Kingdom Hearts. I'm like, oh, rad, it's Cypher! Why is he, like, 13? And, like, there's Leon running around, like, these two characters know each other from, like, the same universe, and you've just got, like, Squall / Leon, who's, like, a full-grown adult, and then there's, like, Cypher running around just bullying people as, like, a 13-year-old. I'm like, what happened? Leon, your rival is a little behind you in years right now. Like, just imagine in the Kingdom Hearts setting, like, Cypher walking up to Leon and calling him a chicken wuss. That would be a bad idea. I don't know if he'd get away with it. Spirit the Hedgehog, thank you for the 2 Nux Bucks. They said, Tails, heard you're dating Cream. Go get him, Tiger. Oh, no. Well, you'd have to ask him about that. I do not know if that's the case. Dust in the Wind, thank you for the 10 Nux Bucks. They said, I first started watching literally a year before the hiatus. Great timing, eh? Lol, glad you came back. Stay awesome. Fascinating. I always think that's kind of interesting, like, well, okay, to be fair, it's constantly fascinating to me. So, like, no matter, like, what video it was, or, like, at what, like, stage of the channel you guys, like, came in and started watching, it's just all endlessly fascinating, like, to me. But about this specifically, it's kind of funny to think about people who, like, started watching right before I went on the 4-year hiatus, because just like, oh, cool, I just ran into this active YouTuber making stuff that I like, oh, okay, she's gone for 4 years. I just got here. Like, this, that's just kind of sad to think about that. I'm sorry I had to disappear for so long. Like, it really did get to the point where I wasn't sure how to come back, because I was gone for so long. I'm like, how do you come back after being away for so long and not really having many updates over that period of time? I was very fortunate that when I came back that everybody was, like, still here. You know, like, well, that's really cool. I don't know that that's a common experience. Like, if you leave for 4 years, you know, people, you know, they move on. That's totally natural. But somehow so many people stayed, which is just absolutely amazing. Oh my gosh. I'm coughing slightly just from, I don't think I'm sick right now. That's just from talking a bunch. Ivan Barrera, thank you for the 5 Nux Bucks. They said, one more question. What do you think of Nazo Unleashed? Nazo Unleashed? Is that like the original one? Because I feel like a sequel came out or is being worked on right now. I'm pretty sure Nazo Unleashed is the original one. I saw that one, and man, that was a lot of work on the animator's part. Is that Chakra X that makes that one? I hope I'm not getting confused. I'd hate to get them mixed up. But yeah, it was very, very cool. Very cool, and not a lot of people working on it either, so, whew. Making animation, I know that's tough. Like, I can do more animation than I do on the Sonic Song channel. It's just that production time, like if I did like animation, or like even puppet animation, it would then, like, Ask the Sonic Heroes episodes would take like a year for me to make one, if that. And so in order to make them as often as I do, I simplify it. But yeah, it was a cool story, a fun concept. Things like that were pretty popular back at the time. I remember like Super Mario Bros. Z. That was also my jam. I was always so impressed with like these projects and how people like, you know, got like whatever materials they had to work with and like made like a project out of it. Super cool. Very cool. Oh, Emma, I see that you put some Nux Bucks in there. I need to scroll up to see the comment, though. YouTube doesn't always show, like, the whole thing, which is, like, weird. Okay, there it is. Emma-san, thank you for the 750 Icelandic crowns. They said... Oh, it is a meme in written format. KN posts cool Sonic video. People, watch it. KN in Patrick's voice. Who are you people? Sorry, I had to. Yeah, it was quite a bit like that. It really was honestly a surprise. Dragonfire Shadow 88 said, what? Oh, wait, whoa, where did your comment go? It disappeared. Oh, there it is. What about Sonic in Kingdom Hearts 1? Man, if I had, like, endless amounts of time, like, I guess I would have to say between, you know, production schedule and, like, you know, it's tough when you gotta pay bills because then you can't always just run amok and do whatever you want. But if I was just, like, free range and never had to worry about bills, I think I would go off the rails and make all kinds of wacky stuff because doing a such and such character in Kingdom Hearts, that would be so much fun. Because I love Kingdom Hearts. I have no idea how I would make that. There's so many, like, if it was like a plush show, for example, I can't imagine the amount of things I would need to buy because there's so many different, like, Disney worlds in there. If it was an artwork type show, more like Ask the Sonic Heroes, the amount of assets that would need to be made would be so much. And I can't draw Donald Duck. That's not really... Okay, to be fair, I drew Donald Duck one time, and it wasn't that bad, but I don't have a great feel for drawing, like, that style. So it would be so hard. But if I had, like, unlimited assets and all the time in the world, you know it. Sonic in Kingdom Hearts 1, you bet. Haley Mitchell said, I want to see cream and cheese on Ask the Sonic Heroes again. It feels like forever. It has been forever. I'm dying to get this cutie back into the show. Like, a lot of the reasoning for certain, like, scheduling for Ask the Sonic Heroes right now, a lot of the time it's just the artwork is not ready. Like, Cream, for example, would have been in an episode, I'm sure, much soon, like, it would not have been such a long time since her last appearance in Ask the Sonic Heroes, except as you can see, her artwork is still technically in relatively early stages. The sketches are done. The line art for her poses and, like, her facial expressions is still underway. Like, there's so much work to be done. But, there's been a lot of progress on Big. Actually, I worked on Big's artwork before I did Cream, so my part of the pipeline on Big the Cat's artwork for Team Rose is done. But there's 2 other people it has to go through before being finished, and, like, you know, this isn't everybody's full-time jobs. Everyone's just doing their best. But yeah, the only reason we haven't seen Cream since, like, I think the last time we saw her was, hosting, with Charmy and Marine and Big the Cat in the Team Empire episode of Ask the Sonic Heroes where it was, like, Halloween. That's the one where we had, like, the Mighty the Armadillo and the Ray the Flying Squirrel cameo in there, too. It's just Cream's artwork. It's not ready yet. But I really want to get Cream and Big finished so that sometime in the spring I can get a Team Rose episode going. That's also why Team Chaotix has been nowhere for years. Like, we started the art revamp, and once you, like, start, like, you know, I couldn't, like, have, you know, Team Sonic have an episode where they had, like, this nice, beautiful, shaded art with all these cool poses, and then, like, the next episode go back to, like, the old artwork, like, the single pose artwork for, like, Team Chaotix. So once we started introducing the new art, we had to stay that way or else it was gonna look weird. Team Rose needs to get done still. Team Chaotix needs to get done still. And there's other characters who are in the pipeline too. But soon! I miss her too. She's very cute. Very sweet. Very fun character. My watch is recording everything I'm saying. Stop! Eric Fisher said, is Team Chaotix late on rent? Maybe! I hope they're paying their rent. Let's see, and really quick, Psycho Sonic fan said, what's your favorite Sonic character? My number one favorite is Knuckles the Echidna, ever since I was a small child. He has always been my favorite. He is the coolest. Oh, sorry, Shadow, I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean to insult the boy. Shadow's one of my favorites, too. My number one favorite is, Knuckles. Silver is my second favorite. Third and fourth favorite are tied between Rouge the Bat and Blaze the Cat. Number 5 is probably Sonic. And then I like everybody else a lot and somewhat equally. It's hard to like figure it out like past number 5. Up here again on the Nux Bucks, thank you so much, Lord Adrian 1000 for the 5, I think, Canadian Nux Bucks. They said, a bit of a random question, but are you going to make a Sonic plush episode where Tails accidentally turns Cream into a giant, or no? Thank you for the question. Nope, I don't have any plans of making an episode, like that. I don't really have any, like, specific... Well, frequently the things that I do with, the plush videos, I've got to have, like, a really strong, like, spark of inspiration. Like, for example, what we've been working on with, like, the plush material lately has been, like, Sonic Chefs, because I love that. It's easy. It's like you know, compared to doing like a video series that has like painted sets or something. Like, it's relatively easy. It's really silly. We kind of come up with the script on set based on what happens while we're cooking. And so, like, you know, those are just like a lot of fun. I would need just the right like spark of personal inspiration to like make like a big plush project like that. But also, I only have one Cream plushie. I do not have, like, a large-sized one. I don't really collect doubles of plushies very often. I have, like, literally one of each character. It almost feels like treason to get another one of a similar size, you know? I'm like, but I already have a Sonic plush. I don't need another one. Unless maybe I need a stunt double. Thieving Gentleman Joker, thank you for the 4 Nux Bucks and 99 Sonic cents. They said, hey KN, how are you, and does Rouge plan on playing KH3 Remind anytime soon? And what are your guesses on who the next 6 fighters are for Super Smash Bros? I'm doing great. I'm having a fantastic Friday. I'm in a great mood. I'm feeling really productive with the Ask the Sonic Heroes editing. I'm in a time crunch right now for it, though. There is a lot of work left for it coming out a week from today, because it's, you know, it's the Valentine's special. It's got to come out on Valentine's Day, which is the same day as the Sonic movie release, and so it's like a really, really tight deadline. But even though, like, the deadline's really tight, my enthusiasm's good, having some good progress. I love how the episode's coming along so far. It's a lot of fun. I'm doing, like, fun stuff with, like, the little animations in there, so I'm feeling real good. At some point, yes, Rouge will be playing KH3 Remind. Definitely not this month, though. I've got Ask the Sonic Heroes to make. Let's see, the next 6 fighters for Super Smash Bros. Unfortunately, I'm really not gonna have, good guesses for you. I don't, I don't follow so well, like, what's, you know, what's going on or who the likely characters are for Smash. Like, I can name 6 video game characters and those can be the ones I think of. Like, sometimes I see ones that people, like, that I follow on Twitter really like, but I kind of forget. Like, I think it would be fantastic if they made Knuckles a fighter. Maybe Shadow is an Echo fighter, but I'm supposed to stick with just regular ones. Like, maybe Knuckles or Tails for one of those 6 slots. I think I would 100% actually have a Smash main if they put Sora in the game. Which I don't really think that that's likely. I mean, Cloud's in it. If they put Sora in there, I would have a main. Because I can't say that I do right now. I just play whoever I feel like looks fun at the moment, but I would totally play Sora, like, all the time if they put him in the game. It'd be fun to see more Final Fantasy characters in there so that it's not Squall. I'm sorry! So that it's not Cloud all by himself. I was gonna say Squall or maybe Tifa from Final Fantasy VII. Like, I think, you know, I love Squall, so that could be fun. But he does still fight with a sword, and there's a lot of sword fighters in the game, so maybe Tifa, so that Cloud's got a buddy in there, and she, like, fights by punching stuff, so she could be, like, more fun. So that's Knuckles or Tails for one slot, that's Sora for another, and I guess if I was gonna pick, I'd say Tifa for that number 3 slot. It just seems a little more fair. I see a lot of people want Crash in there, so maybe Crash Bandicoot. Yeah, it's Crash, okay. So maybe Crash, because Banjo and Kazooie got in, so maybe Crash could make it. Number 5, I've never played any of her games, but this is like a popular one that people mention that almost seems doable, like Shantae, like I think she's a genie girl, so maybe her for number 5. Who else would I do for a number 6? Like, most of the games that I like a lot are a little too obscure. So, like, it really wouldn't be. Okay, how about... so Sora won't be all by himself. This will never, ever happen. If Sora got in, it would be by himself. They wouldn't add another one. Because, like, look how long Cloud and Sonic have been there as, like, single game representatives. Riku. I'm gonna say Riku from Kingdom Hearts for number 6. Alright, that was hard. That was hard. Oh, okay, thank you, Wyatt Wyhog. They said Shantae is half genie, actually. Thank you. I didn't know that. Ooh, that'd be good. Raiden Boom Blitz said Crash and Spyro for Smash. I'm gonna maybe retract Riku because that will never happen. And I'm gonna replace it with Spyro. That's actually a really good suggestion. That would be really fun. Like, to play Spyro in Smash? That'd be great. I mean, CDT353 said Sonic Song, are the characters gonna have moving mouths now? I'm sorry. I'm sorry to get your hopes up. Quick answer. No. Unfortunately, if I were to add lip sync to Ask the Sonic Heroes, the production time, I think, would increase, 3-fold, at least. Like, it would then take, like, for example, you know, I take about, like, usually, it takes a long time to make an episode, but just to keep things simple, let's say it took me 1 month to make an Ask the Sonic Heroes episode, like they are right now, with no lip sync. If I were to add lip sync animation, it would then take 3 months to make one episode. So I would love to, because I can lip sync animate. Other cartoons that I've worked on, I do lip sync animate them, but, you know, 25 minutes, or, like, you know, even, like, the 15-minute mark. Yeah, Cream's making a sad face, like, literally right now while I'm explaining this. I'm sorry to disappoint you too, Cream. Turn that frown upside down. But I know how to lip sync animate, and I think I've done tests with Ask the Sonic Heroes where I did lip sync animate them. Obviously, it wasn't, like, released to the public. They were just, like, quick tests. But it just takes too long. Now, the thing is, though, I wanted to build the character puppets for Asuka Sonic Heroes to be able to have lip sync someday if I could do it. And so, like, for every puppet that exists right now, I have actually gone out of my way to make the mouths I would need to do a lip sync. Like, even though it never shows up, like, all of, like, you know, the puppets who are done already and have been featured in the show, like, Sonic and Tails and Gadget and Shadow, Silver and Maria and Blaze, etc., they all have an entire set of lip sync mouths, 2 sets. A happy lip sync, where they're, and then, like, a serious lip sync. And so it's like 2 sets. How many mouths is that exactly? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 9. So it's at least 18 mouths per character, plus little extra ones. Like right now, the mouth being drawn on screen is an extra mouth beyond the basic 18. Where, like, that's a shout mouth. So there's, like, I draw different mouths if they're laughing or shouting or, like, you know, making, like, a different little facial expression that's not part of the speaking lip sync. All of the puppets are built to be able to have lip sync, but I just am not able to accommodate that yet. You see that I have big dreams. I would love to do it someday, and so all of the puppets are built to be able to do it someday, but I can't do it now. Someday. Please. But I also don't want the episodes to take 3 months to make. It would take too long. But anyway, that's the story of the lip sync mouths that you guys see me drawing. Let's see. Let me come back up here. And CDT353 had a follow-up comment saying, okay, that makes sense. Good, good, good. I am glad everybody understands. Oh, this is gonna be a hard question to answer. By the way, I do see you guys with the Nux Bucks. I'll be traveling back to those very soon. Thank you guys so much. First though, Flashbeat asked, hey KN, who are your favorite Disney characters? My favorite is Mickey Mouse, because he reminds me of when I was a young kid. P.S. You're gonna love my question for Sonic for the Valentine's Day special. Bum bum bum. Mickey is a good choice. He's very cute. My favorite Mickey like movie / like short film was the Prince and the Pauper one. That one I hold very near and dear to my heart. I love that one. Also, the new like Mickey shorts, or newer, they came out in like the last like 5 years or something. Those are so freaking funny. Like, they are really funny. I love them. But anyway, my favorite Disney characters, that is a hard question to answer, because it's like, it's almost like an easier question to answer is who's your favorite from such and such movie, because like, I love so many of them. Some of the characters I have like a special affection for are the characters that I wrote for when I was in a Disney writing group for like 2 or 3 years, and you like had to audition to write the role of certain characters. Like basically you would write like a scene as that character, and then the moderators, if they thought you portrayed the character well and you know, showed good potential for interactions with other people, you would get like quote unquote cast as that character in the writing group. And there was a maximum of 3 characters in there. So what I would do is I had my main and my secondary main, and then my third slot I would like switch between characters, because you could only, like, you know, if you wanted a new one and you already had 3, you had to let go of that character so that somebody else could audition to write for the role instead. But because of that experience, I have a very special affection for Prince Hans from Frozen. I love my trash prince. He's so fantastic and horrible. But I played him pretty complex in like the writing group. Like that's why I was drawn to writing for that character, because like if you're in a roleplay group, you want there to be lots of potential for stories and interesting character interactions and like, you know, skeletons in the closet, so to speak. And so, Like, I love this character so much, along with Prince Eric from The Little Mermaid. I literally have a collection of Prince Hans and Prince Eric merch. I've got a shelf for it in my room. That's how much I love those two characters. I love them so much. But other favorites, like Hiro and Tadashi from Big Hero 6. I love them so much. They're so good. I sort of, like, Tadashi was one of my, my interchangeable side characters from the Disney writing group. And I never had the guts to write for Hiro because I didn't know that I could write his the robotics part of his personality competently enough to do the character justice. So I never played Hiro, but I love Hiro. I at least did, I did some of Tadashi, though. My secondary character in the Disney writing group was Denahi from Brother Bear. I love that guy. So good. So good. But there's so many good characters. I love the Beast from the animated, Beauty and the Beast. I like everybody from... Everyone from The Lion King was so good. Ursula's great. Little Mermaid was really solid for me. That one, I love that one so much, I get emotional. I went to, the anniversary party for The Little Mermaid at D23. I was really good. And I saw, a limited release of it again in, theaters. Where they had, the original Little Mermaid animated, film, and they had it, up on the big screen. I think that one came out in, 89, so it was, it hasn't come out in theaters except these limited runs. And man, good stuff. I could go on, but I think I'll leave you guys with those ones. That's alright. You see, I told you my second really big fandom is Disney stuff. I love Disney stuff. Just overall, I get real excited. One time, I randomly, wandered on to one of Jazzy's live streams on his channel, and he asked me a question about Disney stuff. I ended up there for, an hour just, talking about it. Oh, you know what? That reminds me, people were asking, when I was asked before what my other, fandoms and, hobbies and things are, I am also into, Dungeons and Dragons. I've been playing for, I think... What the? That almost... Okay, sorry, I got confused for a second. I've been playing D&D for maybe almost 2 years now. My main dude is a wizard. He's lovely. He's the one that I've played the longest who has managed to survive for 2 years, so that I have great affection for my wizard lad. Also, I know that Sparky Raptor is in the chat! Hi, Vince! I hope you're having a good day, Vince said, or Vince/Sparky Raptor said, Disney stuff is awesome. It is good stuff. Very fun. Oh, Danny said that too. Yes, Disney stuff is awesome. And Nafisa Ahmed said, Can, I love Disney stuff. I am among people who understand. That's one of those things I get real excited about. It's a real good time. System 509 said you should stream a D&D game. Actually, this is kind of funny, but one of the reason why I got into playing D&D myself is because I had this idea. Well, first I was watching this podcast show from the McElroy brothers called The Adventure Zone. I guess now it's differentiated for now it's the Adventure Zone Balance, and it was these guys playing a D&D game amongst their family. I fell in love with that so hard. It's still one of my favorite things, the Adventure Zone. But I was like, what would be really fun if I could find out how to run a D&D game. And it'd be super meta, because my idea was what if I ran a D&D game in character as Maria Robotnik being the DM for a D&D game, and having Shadow and Sonic and Silver and Amy and Espio or somebody in there, and they're in character playing D&D characters. I was like, that would be so much fun. But I was like, KN, you don't know how to play this game. You've never played this game. And so I was like, well, here's a great idea. I will join a game, I will learn, and then I will become a DM and do a Sonic show about it. 2 years later, that has not happened because I realize it's a very complex game to run. I would still love to try it someday, because it would be super fun. But right now, the most I've done is I've played my wizard long-term, I've tried other character types in short-term games, and I've run a little bit of, like, one-person, like, written campaign stuff just to practice with mechanics, but it'll be a long time before I can do something like that. But that was the thought. Mario Sonic 76 said, you should still do that. That would be awesome. I think it would be. It would be wonderful. Oh no. We're gonna get me going on the other thing that I can nerd out about. Sparky Raptor, or Vince, asked, what level is your wizard, and what school of magic did they study? My boy is, he's actually an evocation wizard, so that's the kind that does, like, the big boom explosion spells, except actually he plays a little bit more utility, like, helping people out or using, like, strategy type spells. It's just, he took evocation so he can avoid blowing up his travel companions by accident, because, like, the last thing he wants to do is catch people in the crossfire. He's basically the mom friend in this group. Level? I think... Oh no, I'm drawing a blank on what level. It's at least 11 now, but I think it might be up to 13 at this point. I kind of forget, because, like, I've got characters of different levels now, but yeah, 11 to 13, somewhere in there. It's pretty high up there. And, School of Evocation. Alan Carrillo said, my D&D character is level 3. Nice. You gotta start someplace. I wish you luck in your survival. To be fair, I joined a game that was already, like, pretty far along, so I started at level 8 and got up to 13. I didn't start from the beginning. Sparky Raptor said, so what I'm hearing is Fireball for days. Shockingly, no. I never took the spell Fireball. My DM recently made me get it, because she was like, you're a wizard, and all this time you don't have Fireball, you have to get it. And so, like, she let him find a spell scroll for it. So now he knows, but I've been playing for 2 years without Fireball at all. Nicholas Munoz asked, which house would you rather be in at Hogwarts? And Maya Abraham said, you're a wizard, KN! Excellent. I think, I've always kind of thought that I'm probably, like, a Hufflepuff. Those are, like, the sort of cheerful ones, right? I forget what the descriptor words for Hufflepuff are. Main, Hogwarts, house, traits. I'm gonna look at that again, because just from memory, it's, okay, Hufflepuff values hard work, patience, justice, and loyalty. Gryffindor is courage, bravery, nerve, and chivalry. Ravenclaw is like intelligence, creativity, learning, and wit. And Slytherin are like the ambitious ones. Yeah, I think that's probably still a bit correct. Like, I've probably seen some of all of the houses in me. I guess it probably works like that for most people. It's not like you're exclusively one way or another. It's just like whichever house, like, speaks to a strong part of yourself, because I've looked at myself as maybe a Gryffindor, maybe a Ravenclaw before, and I am ambitious enough probably to be a Slytherin when it comes to some things. But I think like, I've always thought, like, okay, for a while I thought maybe Ravenclaw, because I am pretty studious and, like it said, intelligence and creativity and learning, but I do think Hufflepuff is probably more on there. Hard work, patience, justice, loyalty. I'm extremely loyal. I am, like, my creativity is driven by hard work and patience. Like, you know, you could be as creative as anybody, but if you don't have the hard work and the patience, it's, you know, it's hard to get anywhere with it because you burn out fast. And, yes, justice! That's what I would say. Daisy Bloom Moise Frost said, I be a Ravenclaw. Nice. Very good one. I see that the Dark Raven 93 said House of Ravenclaw. Makes sense. I see some fellow potential Hufflepuffs from Danny and Dust in the Wind. Well, Box the Hedgehog said, I would be in Hufflepuff, but according to Pottermore, I'm a Ravenclaw. You know what? As much as Pottermore will try to sort you based on questions, they don't know you as well as you know you. So whichever one of the houses speaks to the distinct and specific parts of your personality, that is what you would count in. If you're, like, really honest with yourself and thinking about it, like, if you don't feel like you're, like, you embody, like, the traits that are known as, like, a Ravenclaw, you know yourself better than a questionnaire. And I would have to imagine that the Sorting Hat from the stories would be able to detect that specificity also. There's you know, like a questionnaire with a limited amount of questions they can ask you. It'll never be able to predict what you know about yourself. Alright, really quick, jumping to the Nux books. That's, oh boy. Okay, yep, Serenity Spaz Queen, thank you for the 5 Nux bucks. They said, hey Can, good to see you. Question, besides Sonic, what other character would you most like to see in the new movie? Well, everybody, well, if you've been here for the whole chat, you know that my most favorite character is Knuckles. I would love to see him. However, I think that if another one of the Sonic characters, aside from, like, obviously, like, Sonic and Eggman, were to be in the movie, the character that deserves to be there is Tails! He's a good lad. He's Sonic's bro, like, his right-hand dude. I think if one other Sonic character was gonna make it into the movie, I feel like Tails is the one that deserves it. Ivan Barrera, thank you for the 5 Nux bucks. They said, last question, I swear, but what do you think of the Amy and Rouge meme? I think that's been kind of interesting. I've seen that going on Twitter. That's where people have been doing like an outfit swap between Rouge and Amy, and I've seen a lot of interesting artwork come out of that. So that has been fun to behold. Lord Adrian 1000, thank you for the 5 Nux bucks. They said, have you ever heard of Dark Crystal Age of Resistance or Kipo in the Age of the Wonder Beasts on Netflix? If so, which one is your favorite? I'm familiar with the original film of the Dark Crystal, but I have not watched Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. Honestly, it's like that with me with a lot of things. If Dark Crystal Age of Resistance had been a movie, I probably would have seen it, because I can make time for like 2 hours to watch something, but unfortunately, like, when I get into a TV show, I can definitely binge watch it just like anybody. But I rarely give myself the opportunity to do that, because I'm so busy that getting into a show that I end up liking and like binge watching, that's gonna eat up so much time that I don't have. So I never saw that one, and I've heard the name Kipo or Kippo and the Age of the Wonder Beasts, but I've never seen that one either. If I had to like blindly pick a favorite between the two, I guess since I don't know what Kipo is at all, Dark Crystal maybe, because that was a fascinatingly crafted film, and I imagine that the sequel is giving them, like the sequel series, is giving them a lot of time to explore things that in the film format they just really didn't have the time. Let's see, Skeeter the Hedgehog, thank you for the 5 Nux bucks. They said, hey Can, how would I be able to get a hold of Jazzy? I want to ask him some questions, cause I'm an up-and-coming music mixer myself. You know, Jazzy is a busy man. We all are, so unfortunately it's not always 100% if you'll manage to like really get into a convo, but let me get you this. Jazzy's Twitter. Here, if you like tag him on Twitter, or I don't know if he's got his DMs open. Like I said, he is a very busy man. But like Twitter, I think would be like the best way probably to try to contact him. And let me see. That's what I would suggest. And Skeeter the Hedgehog's follow-up comment is, got it, thanks. Nice. Okay. Good luck with your music mixing. That is definitely a talent I do not have. Many of my family members, I would almost say like the majority of my family members, at least on one side of my family, are musically talented. I am not. My brother is, my dad, my aunts, my grandpa, my grandma's a chorus singer who's won at like international competitions. Very musical family. I'm the one it skipped. That's okay though, because like I think I'm really like the nobody else in the family really does the kind of stuff that I do, so it's not like the creative gene jumped over me. It's just everybody else has it in music, and I've got it in like another way, and like my mom has it in a more like a unique way also. Not musical and not like animating, drawing, editing, voice acting, but like her creativity comes out really strong in things like interior design, like design sense. She's got a very, very good eye for taking like, you know, what you've got to work with and then making it look like super nice. Like, fantastic. So creativity comes out in a lot of ways. I wish you excellent luck with your mixing. And Serenity Spaz Queen had sent me one more. I gotta scroll and there. Thank you, Serenity Spaz Queen. Thank you for the 5 Nux bucks, and also your James and Meowth icon is so cute. I love them. And they said, glad to be able to join you for a stream. Stay awesome. Random question. Do you believe in ghosts or other paranormal or spiritual stuff? Oh, that's interesting. I don't think anyone has ever asked me that before. I don't think so. Someone might have asked about, like, ghosts. I would like to say that no, I wouldn't say that I do. I also don't want to overthink it too much, because that sounds like something that would scare me. It is, you know, but there's a lot of, unexplained stuff in the world. Like, many of my family members seem to be potentially sensitive to stuff like that. And, like, they've all seen stuff. I'm the one that has not seen stuff, and I don't wanna. However, like, I don't know exactly what to make of things like ESP or picking up on, like, vibes from other people, but, like, my grandpa seems to have, like, premonitory abilities. Like, he sees things sometimes, and it's real creepy and weird when that happens. But, like, it's not the kind of stuff that he can stop, and, like, you could chalk it up to coincidence, maybe, but some of the stuff that he, like, kind of, like, has seen and then happens, it's, like, it's really specific, and, so that's odd. I can't do any of that. I've had some moments that were, like, closer to that. It's not, like, ghosts and paranormal stuff. It's things like, sometimes I'll get a really strong feeling about something, and I won't really know why, but then of course it'll turn out that somebody's in trouble and needs me or something. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is too much responsibility. So it's not like ghost stuff. It's just, I would like to call these things uncanny coincidence. Many of my family members, I think, would beg to differ with that, but that's as far as I go. It's a little too spoopy for me, to be honest. I don't want to see anything. I currently, like, live in the same room where one of my aunts grew up, and she saw stuff in this room. No, thank you. I have no interest in seeing anything. And I've lived here now for a long time, and I've seen nothing. Anger's fine. I am not force sensitive like some of my family members seem to be. I don't want to see anything. And I never have. So, you know, it is what it is. Dustin the Wind said, spooky ghosts? Why, no thank you. Yes, indeed. No thanks. I'll just, like, so I've never seen anything, so I don't really, I don't believe in it personally. What I would like to say I believe in is uncanny coincidence. But, you know, like, even with, like, the ESP stuff, like, it's nothing I can prove, so I'd never go around, like, really saying I believe in it. It's just some really interesting coincidences happen sometimes. And I, like, for a really long time, like, most of my life, I'm like, okay, well, most of my family is sensitive to this stuff in some way, but not me. I don't see anything. I don't, like, foresee things. But, like, a little bit more recently, in, like, my adulthood, every once in a while, something kind of almost happens. I'm like, nope. I don't need latent paranormal abilities to be, like, popping up. I cannot prove that it's any more than an interesting coincidence, and so that's what I am going to believe in. But, you know, I'm not going to take anything away from anyone who has experienced more than I have and does believe in such things. But, fascinating question. Very interesting. Everybody has very different life experiences, so it's just fascinating. By the way, my squad, I am gonna have to get going pretty soon because where I am right now, it's past 5 o'clock, which means I need to get back to editing Ask the Sonic Heroes. I've got a lot of work to do with the editing, and so I can't stay for too long because I am definitely in an editing time crunch with Ask the Sonic Heroes episode 37. It's gonna be fantastic. Really excited. But I'll stick around for like just a tiny bit more, and then I gotta skedaddle. Emma Sun, thank you for the 750 Icelandic crowns. They said, I sometimes dream things that happen in the future, and it's very uncomfortable and kind of scary, really. Well, try not to be scared. Just, you know, I guess it is what it is. Like, I've had that kind of happen before, but for me, it wasn't events. Like, it was places. And again, I'm just gonna chalk this up to uncanny coincidence, but every once in a while, like, startle myself because I'm like, whoa, I've never been to this place before, but this exact view I've seen. I'm like, that weird? What a coincidence! Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. So, like, you know, that's, like, the extent of anything that's ever happened to me. Uncanny coincidence where I feel like I've seen a specific view in a dream before, or occasionally a really strong unsettled feeling, and it sometimes turns out to be associated with somebody, like, needing something, and they're, like, in some trouble, but it's never been, like, anything serious, so I am totally fine if I never have latent developing paranormal powers, okay? I don't need this. Maya Abraham, that's a good question. They said, are you going to cancel the stream next week because of the Sonic movie? Nope. As far as I know, there's no plans of cancellation. I'm gonna be here like I always am because I've got, like, the stream, I've got the premiere of Ask the Sonic Heroes episode 37, which again, I've got a real time crunch on the workload, but I am determined to get it out on time, as always. And plus the live stream. I don't have any plans of canceling. That's like a party day! Sonic fans party! But we'll all have to be careful about people who've, like, seen the movie already. No spoilers. I may be seeing the movie before that stream. If I do, there will not be spoilers. I'm super against that. No spoilers for everyone who hadn't seen it yet, especially since it's, like, the same day release. But my plan is to, like, see the movie, like, at its midnight premiere. So if everything goes to plan with me and the rest of the crew, it's, gonna, like, we'll have already seen it by the time Fun Friday comes up. So, we'll be here to party with you guys, but no spoiler! I'm not, like, it's probably gonna be, like, months before I talk about it, like, casually in a stream, because I wouldn't want to, like, spoil it. But, yes! Yes! No, I will, if you run into spoilers, it's not gonna be from me, and if I, like, did something like a character reacts to the movie, like, it would be labeled, like, in the title that it's got spoilers, and I wouldn't put, like, a spoiler in the thumbnail. It was a minefield when Kingdom Hearts came out, trying to avoid, like, Kingdom Hearts 3, trying to avoid all the spoilers for, like, 6 or 7 months, because the game was out, and after, like, 6 or 7 months, that's well beyond the point where it's, like, acceptable to have spoilers everywhere, and, like, it was so hard to avoid it. Sparky Raptor said, "We salute you, Soldier KN!" Thank you. Princess Harmony of Trona said, "Gonna go now, bye-bye! Yet, see you later, goodbye!" So, that is, that's gonna be the plan for next week. Again, hopes are to go to the midnight premiere, and, we'll still have the live stream, and then after the live stream would, like, at the normal time, 3 to 5 PST, I think after the live stream is when Ask the Sonic Heroes would come out, because that's usually how we do it, so that we get to hang out on the stream, and then it goes right into the premiere for the episode, so that's kind of the plan. Alright, anyway, that black screen is telling me it is time to go. Alright, you guys, thank you so much for joining me for another fun Friday. It's always exciting to get to hang out with you guys, and it was fun getting to share some of my, Ask the Sonic Heroes artwork with you guys. I guess the next time we'll be seeing each other is maybe next week. Maybe everybody will be busy going to see the Sonic movie. Maybe not. Whenever you get the chance to see it. I hope you guys have fun. Goodbye, everybody. Have a fantastic rest of your night. I need to get back to the editing so I can finish it on time. Because like I said, there is a huge time crunch, and I really want to have this Valentine's special ready for you guys on Sonic Day. Okay, bye guys, take care, make sure you drink enough water and get enough sleep. Bye!